Akron's mayor, 10 days on the job, is stepping down tonight. Gary Moneypenny is resigning effective at midnight after admitting he inappropriately touched a city employee. Council President Jeff Fusco will automatically take over as interim mayor. He'll be the third to take the seat in just 2 weeks. Fusco told the Akron Beacon Journal he will serve through the end of the year, but he will not run for a full term. Sexual assaults on college campuses will be the focus of today's news conference by Ohio's Attorney General. Mike DeWine will join community leaders today in Columbus, calling for statewide efforts to address this issue. Jackie. Local officials have set up a small New York town. They are searching for 2 escaped killers from a New York prison. It's feared they could become even more dangerous.
They obviously have to eat. They have to sleep. Their level of desperateness will increase as each day goes on.
People in Willsboro, New York can expect to see plenty of police activity, including door-to-door searches. 2 men, possibly the escapees, were seen walking in the town Monday night. Richard Matt and David Sweat conducted an elaborate escape from a maximum security prison over the weekend. A plan to bulk up security at the White House has actually backfired. The Secret Service went on a hiring spree after a number of security lapses showed a problem with security there. But now that means several fresh arrivals to the agency are handling sensitive positions with limited training. The department is also struggling to work through backlogged security clearances. Well, and more of our military men and women could be headed to Iraq. The president's administration is considering a plan to send 500 additional troops there to help train Iraqi forces. A final decision should be announced soon. Still to come, a controversial call in California, the mandate going before lawmakers to stop another outbreak. Then, is it Splitsville for The Simpsons? One of our favorite animated families could be on the rocks. Samara.
Looking fabulous, Terrence. I love it. All right, thanks so much. In other news, in health news, actually, a vaccination mandate in California. A committee there just approved a bill requiring school children to get their shots. It's intended to prevent outbreaks like the state recently saw with the measles outbreak. Only medical issues would make kids exempt from the vaccines. The measure, though, now heads for a full assembly vote. The CDC is trying to track down anyone who may have had contact with a woman who has a rare case of tuberculosis. She came to the U.S. 7 weeks ago for treatment, but traveled to Illinois, Missouri, also Tennessee. Experts say this type of TB is worse because 70% of the time it's fatal and is resistant to drug treatments. Well, most of Northeast Ohio concentrated on the Cavs' win last night. The Indians were playing right next door at Progressive Field. The Tribe taking on the Mariners, but not the outcome that we wanted. Indians in it to the final batter, but came up short, 3-2. So the Tribe and Mariners will play again tonight, and we need the weather to cooperate, Samara. It's 5:18. Simpson fans, we feel like the end may be near. Just yesterday, we told you Bart would be killed in an upcoming episode. Well, now Marge and Homer are splitting ways. An executive producer for the show says the couple will legally separate in the premiere of season 27. Al Jean shared the details with Variety. I want to stress we didn't make this story up. A man in China is suing an actress because he claims that she stared too intensely at him. That is kind of an intense stare through the TV screen. Okay, so this man is claiming he suffered spiritual damage from her staring too intensely at him. Officials with the country's Supreme Court call it an abuse of a citizen's right to file lawsuits. And Carnival Cruises has a new ban starting next month. Passengers will not be allowed to bring bottled beverages onto its ships. The company says it's trying to stop smuggled alcohol from being brought on board disguised as water. But Jackie will be happy to know there is an exception to the ban. You are allowed to bring along a bottle of wine. Well, we know you like a glass of wine here and there. It's 5:20 on your Wednesday. Coming up on Good Morning Cleveland, new information on the Texas officer accused of only taking issue with African-American teens at a pool party. Also new this morning, how Hawkins School remembers 2 students lost in that deadly crash. You're watching Good Morning Cleveland right here on News Channel 5. We'll be right back. Welcome back.
New this morning, a Lake County woman will need to lace up her running shoes for her court sentence. Kaylee Case pleaded guilty to skipping out on a taxi fare for a trip from Cleveland to Painesville. And the News Herald says the 19-year-old was given a choice: spend 2 months in jail or walk 30 miles at the fairgrounds. She chose the latter and will wear a GPS to record her progress starting today. All right, time right now to check in with Samara. Look at that beautiful shot of the queue. Right now is 5:25, and at 9 o'clock this morning, veterans in the Lorain area will rally in support of a veterans clinic. They're opposing a proposal made last year to move the clinic out of St. Joseph's Community Center. Vets have already collected nearly 2,000 signatures. Well, protesters were out in downtown Cleveland last night calling for justice for Tamir Rice.
No justice, no peace, no racist police.
Cleveland police shot and killed the 12-year-old while he was playing with a toy gun last November. Officers surrounded the group the whole way, and while no one was arrested, they did stop traffic for a time. We will have more on community outcry in this case ahead in our next half hour. It is 5:25, and a look right now at last night's winning Ohio lottery numbers. So good luck out there. Good morning, Cleveland. Coming back in just minutes. Good morning. I'm reporting live here on East 113th off of Superior Avenue in Cleveland. We have breaking news this morning. A 7-week-old baby girl is missing. An Amber Alert has been issued. And just learned new information. Cleveland police are looking for this suspect, Ramon Ogletree. That is the name, Ramon Ogletree, in this case here, this Amber Alert case of a missing 7-week-old baby girl. This baby girl last seen wearing pink pants, according to this Amber Alert I'm seeing here, a pink shirt and red socks. This Amber Alert was just issued, I would say, about 15 minutes ago, but we first started hearing about this around 4 this morning at the scene here on East 113th in Cleveland. Police have been here. They have been talking to the mother of this baby. Also, they have been going in and out of this home, knocking on neighbors' doors. But this morning, we know police are looking for Ramon Ogletree in this Amber Alert case of a missing 7-week-old baby girl. Back to you.
What is going on here?
Well, Karina and Terrence, a plastic baggie just like this, filled with a mixture of sugar and powdered Kool-Aid, ended up getting a 14-year-old suspended from school for 5 days. 8th grader Iverson Sibley says that she was called into the main office after being caught on school security cameras trading the school's paper money for that plastic baggie. Inside, a mixture of sugar with powdered Kool-Aid. Even though school officials realized that the white substance was not drugs, not cocaine, Iverson was still suspended.
If I would have knew that, I would never, brought like Fun Dip or stuff to school like suckers, and if I knew we was going to get in this much trouble.
I said, so she got suspended for basically having candy. No, it was sugar with Kool-Aid in it. I said, I'm waiting for you to explain to me what she got suspended for.
Well, the school told Iverson's mother, you heard from her just there, that they believe that it looked like Iverson was taking part in a drug-type transaction. Live in Akron, Kristen Byrne, News Channel 5.
A 5-year-old, a 3-year-old now, a 5-month-old. Innocent lives taken in such a senseless way. City leaders did not think that we would be in this same situation. As Cleveland's mayor put it, a line has been crossed.
All these babies is getting killed for what?
As soon as neighbors saw the police lights and sirens, they knew it couldn't be good.
These kids don't ask for this. They're being taken out for what?
The shock still hasn't settled. Hearing another child, a baby at that, had been shot in the city, let alone their backyard.
Sickening, I'm sad. It's disgusting. What is it going to take before these animals begin to conduct themselves in a manner of how we're supposed to conduct ourselves? It has to stop.
But what can the community do? A question we keep asking again and again. After now, a 3rd child killed in Cleveland's East Side in a month's time.
We all share the same sentiment in that the line has been crossed.
Mayor Frank Jackson on scene of this latest death, at times at a loss for words.
What can you say? Other than the fact we all feel the same pain.
The pain, though, he says, needs to fuel action. He says we desperately need federal help. Locally, we're losing the battle against gun violence.
We introduced legislation and council passed some form of that legislation around responsible gun ownership. And we were immediately challenged in court. So we can't even enforce that.
Something, though, Jackson knows has to change and has to change soon.
Just to save them from these streets that has turned into a war zone.
And that community frustration has turned into a feeling of powerlessness. The mayor sharing this story with us yesterday, saying that a local pastor had a meeting at his church just yesterday about fighting this violence. Everyone walked out of that meeting. Right then, they learned about another child being killed on Cleveland's streets.